All righty, I would like to call this meeting to order. Board of Selectmen meeting, Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. The time is now 7 p.m. Motion to call this meeting to order.
So moved.
So moved, second,
Second.
Second with a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. This meeting is now in order. We will start with a roll call. We have attendance, myself, first selectman Nick Donahue, second selectman Larry Consiglio, and third selectman Jeff Bolte. Welcome. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty, justice for all. All righty, approval of meeting minutes from last meeting, November 5th, 2025. All these meeting minutes here, if you guys want to review. Do I have a motion to accept the meeting minutes as stated?
Tough to
Tough to
make a
approve.
motion without really looking at them yet, but
Feel
quick peruse. I'll make a motion.
Okay, you guys want to do those?
We have them in our packet.
Right,
Okay.
Just a point of order, that none of us were.
right. We
on
really
board
shouldn't be approving that.
Last year, it's hard to approve minute meetings, when, board last month.
Yeah, I guess my answer to that would be is that I agree with your concerns. These meeting minutes were definitely in the selectman's office for visual prior to the meeting.
I've read them.
Yeah.
And I was here last meeting.
Yeah. I don't necessarily know how to answer that question.
Okay.
Currently, I have no issues with it, so.
Motion to approve.
Yeah, but I understand your concerns. Larry with the motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, those opposed? Abstentions? The ayes have it. Thank you. Alrighty, correspondence. We do have one correspondence, a resignation letter from Chief John Sharp, the Community Fire Department. I just want to take a motion to accept that resignation.
I'll make a motion to regrettably accept that.
Yeah. Do we have a second?
I will second.
Do we have any communication regarding this motion? I'd like to take this moment to thank John Sharp for his many years of service within the department into the town of Thompson. His dedication, his hard work definitely does not go unnoticed, and I very much appreciate him and what he has done for this town, and it will be sad to see him gone, but I wish him well in his endeavors. Anyone else have any comments before we?
I would like to have, our office send a card of appreciation.
I think that's very appropriate.
Definitely.
Thank you, and I will work on that tomorrow.
Thank you.
We'll take a vote. All those in favor of accepting this resignation letter signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. No's, ayes have it. All right, next would be selectmen's comments. Let's see. Let's see, selectmen's comments. So, Toys for Teague and Toys for Tots, starting Monday, December 2nd, Town of Thompson will be collecting new and unwrapped toys for children and families in need this holiday season. Monday, 2nd of December to Thursday, the 12th of December, toys collected will be distributed through Teague. Friday, the 13th of December to the 19th of December, toys collected will be distributed through the U.S. Marine Corps Toys for Tots program. Collection boxes will be in the tax office and the town clerk's office at the Thompson Town Hall. New and unwrapped toys for children of all ages will be accepted, but gifts for tweens and teens are often underrepresented in charities and toy drives. Please note that Toys for Tots will not distribute any gifts containing any kind of food or consumables, no candy, cookies, and realistic looking toy weapons. Any questions, reach out to Tara Penn in planning and development, and we thank you for your cooperation with this. Teague is a great community partner, and we're lucky to have them. Second, in quite kind of a big event is the Ask Me Anything event, which is an event that highlights the town of Thompson, all department heads, boards, commissions, committee chairs, public safety. And that's going to be held at the library on December 3rd, 6 to 8 p.m. Opportunity for residents to come out, meet and engage with local government, and quite frankly, ask us anything. Open door policy. We're doing this to really increase residents' knowledge and willingness to engage in civic life and really have people be more engaged in the day-to-day of what we do and what makes our town amazing. I have more information to follow after the meeting. You're more than happy to come and look, and I can make copies of this America 250 / Ask Me Anything event, but your participation is critical, and I really, 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 really hope that everybody attends. Any questions? Alrighty, next we'll move on to citizen comments.
I do have a comment. I'd like to, being our first meeting, want to thank the community for their support and looking forward to working together to move Thompson over the next couple of years.
I agree. I think we have a great team, and congratulations to the both of you.
Yep.
And thank you to the upcoming board for all their hard work. And I think we have an amazing thing going.
Yeah.
And I hope to continue it.
Absolutely.
Anyone from the audience? Or the Zoom? State your name and address, sir.
John Brissett, Old Davis Road. First, congratulations, guys. Good luck. So I know everybody in town has concerns about the enrollment at the high school. This is something that's been discussed for a long time. And there's a very loud group that thinks that the best thing to do is close the high school and send the kids to another school. There's been 2 different studies done showing that that would cost significantly more money. Aside from the cost for a minute, the most logical assumption is usually Woodstock Academy, or the study also looked at Putnam. I could talk forever about why I don't think Woodstock Academy is right for our particular demographic. I don't think it would serve the students of Thompson properly. But it seems like we have to get past this cost thing, because we're not talking like it was $50,000. The last study showed it would be approximately $2 million more to send the student body that was in the school that year to Woodstock Academy. $2 million more than we're spending now. Yet we keep hearing that cry every budget season. We just went through 4 or 5 referendums because mainly people are against the school. The school board did ask Melinda to look into getting an outside study done. There was an organization that she was able to find, and they came back with a proposal. NESDEC is the name of the company. $8,000 was the cost. $6,500 would be the discounted price because the school is in some form of association or something. Whether or not the town can get that $6,500, I don't know. The school is already looking at a deficit because of the cuts and special ed overruns. They do not have $6,500 to spend. The residents have been clamoring for an audit for years. I think the town should pay for it. So I would ask the Board of Selectmen to move this forward to the Board of Finance, get with Melinda, figure out exactly what it was she was gonna do, and get this study done so we can at least put to bed the idea that it would be cheaper. And I personally would
Thank you,
be
sir.
very much in favor of some form of regionalization. Because beyond the cost increase to outsource, it's beyond me why the same group of residents that want this so bad are the same group that fight the budget, that want more people to be able to. Maybe they just don't understand. If you outsource and send your kids to another town school, you have no say in their budget, you have no say in their curriculum, you have no representation on the board. Maybe in the future, we could find a partner to regionalize with, but right now, we need to put to bed this ridiculous notion that we should just close the school and send the kids somewhere else. So I just would ask that the Board of Selectmen work with Melinda and the Board of Finance and try to get that done. Thank you.
Did, just a quick question for a follow-up there. Was there any, suspected costs that went along with that? Do you have an estimate of costs that they were
8,000.
quoted,
They were
8,000?
quoted 8,000. They could get it down to 6,500, but that was the school. I don't know if the town would be 6,500 because there was some discount for some organization, I think that the school was part of.
My understanding is the school has already done 2 surveys. Doing a third one is not going to change the outcome.
So, while I tend to agree with you because of the cynical nature of the people that we're talking about here, it would be an independent study. It would not be a study done by a town or a school employee. Again, I have the utmost respect for Bill Steglitz. I don't think for a minute he did not do his diligence when he came up with these numbers. But unfortunately, the loud group that fights this budget every year, they feel differently. Now, I also would suggest, and this is something Nick and I had talked about, maybe putting out a survey, public survey, that allows some of these people to put their name to the fact that, yeah, they'll shut their mouths if it comes back, showing how much more it would be. Again, look, this is not a sustainable system. It's just not. We know it. The state of Connecticut puts every school district in a ridiculous situation with the mandated special education costs. We know this. Something's going to have to be done at some point. And that's why I say, I think regionalization is the way to go. You get equal representation on the boards, you get a say in the budget. It's a real cooperative with whether it's Putnam, Eastford. I mean, look at Woodstock has already decided they're not thrilled with Woodstock Academy. They're sending kids to Killenly now. Talk to people in the elementary and middle school at Woodstock, and they're gonna tell you they're not happy with what the academy has done. They just they pick a dollar amount and send you a bill. I can't understand how any citizen would want that. How would you just want to have no say in what the education is gonna cost? But for some reason, I feel like this is just not gonna end if we don't get an independent study. And to me, $8,000 it's a referendum. Right?
Sure.
If you could
Yep.
save one referendum by doing this, it paid for itself. So,
I agree, and I think you bring up some valid concerns, and I will definitely take it under advisement with the rest of my board and speak about this with Board of Finance and Bill Steglitz.
all right, thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Does anyone have any follow-up comments to that? Sir, in the back, name and address?
My name is Wayne O'Brien, 108 Fabian Road.
Thank you.
I don't know if he does know about Woodstock making a deal with Killenly.
Okay.
They made a deal for $14,000 for their kids. We're 24,000 or plus up there for our kids. So that's $1.25 million cheaper if we just got that deal. But I mean,
Okay.
I'm not
That's why-
sure.
that's why-
Let the gentleman speak. Let the gentleman speak. You
So
had your time.
I'm really not sure about everything. I mean, we have such a large school that the maintenance is killing us. That's what's killing this thing. They overbuilt it and it was damned to be go. We're gonna have a school this large and we're gonna fill it. And it never happened. And you know what? When you have a house that is 5,000 square feet and you only need 1,000 square feet, but you gotta heat it, you've gotta cool it, you've gotta maintain it. The cost is ridiculous. And I mean, I wasn't here to talk about the school at this point in time. I don't think it was the right time for me to speak, but that's the truth. I mean, they made a deal. Woodstock did make a deal. Because not every kid wants to go to the academy. Not every one of our kids is gonna wanna do that. Or Marionaplis or any of the other schools. A lot of them wanna go to a vocational school because that program that they got up there, kids are going to it.
Yes,
So, I mean, if they could get into Ellis Tech, they'd probably be there. Because when they got out, they'd have a 4-year accredited course behind it. I mean, there's a lot of things. But I mean, keep putting that round peg in a square hole and it don't work.
Sure.
And this has been going on for so long. I mean, when I first started going to the school meetings, there were 300 kids in that school. And Joe and Bill, her husband, fantastic people, fantastic. If something don't happen with these numbers, we're in trouble. And for all those years, that's what he said. And it hasn't changed, and it just got worse. And I wish all of them the best.
Thank you, sir, for those comments.
Can I make
Selectman Bolte, you have
Two
to follow up.
comments on that. If we were to outsource, move the high school, we still have an empty building. We would have to heat it, we'd have to keep it clean, we'd have to make sure it's running perfectly with no one in it. That's one.
Well, snow.
And
cuts
two,
grass.
Woodstock does not have a public high school. We have a public high school. You know, Killingly might not give us a deal at 14,000. It could be 20,000. It could be 22. But is that a deal if we have to bus them farther and pay more for bus?
Question would be if we never know.
Nope, I don't disagree
We
there.
never know.
Nope, I don't disagree.
We should have started this.
But with it, Killingly would have to be open to taking our kids in.
Oh.
It's same as Woodstock Academy or anywhere else. We might, and we don't know if that'll happen.
Was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Turn around, approach the state, see if you can turn that whole 1,600 student facility into a vocational school.
Mhm.
Turn it into a vocational school. Our kids will go. Not all of them.
Yeah.
But they will go. And then go build a K-8 that is gonna take Thompson for the next 50 years. And you get, I don't know, 70% back from the state. And I mean, we're in some kind of special district, who knows, maybe we get something extra, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, if we just keep doing the same thing over and over and over. And not finding out what our real options are, I mean, if you owned a house. And you were drowning in it,
Mhm.
what would you do?
Look at alternatives.
You start
Obviously.
looking at all the alternatives.
But
Hey, that
is
has
there
to
an
be done.
alternative since we have public education here already? That's the key thing. You know, we'd probably have to close down the whole system in order to really get anything out of
You
it.
can't close the K through 8. You have to
Obviously,
do
but
that.
that's my point
But
is
I'm just-
everything's connected. Therefore, you know, if you look at the numbers in the middle school, they're going to raise the high school rates. So they're gonna be over 200 plus in the next couple of years. Will it change? You know, it's gonna fluctuate. You know, I had a class of 105.
Okay,
We don't have that for kids these days.
I'm not arguing, I'm not anything, but we don't have the answer, because you know what? You say it's gonna be 200 kids in a couple of years, you don't know,
No, you don't.
people might move.
Mhm.
I mean, this is what happens with special ed kids, this is what happens with all kinds of people, they move. People don't stay here, just rooted all the
And I
time.
think that speaks to kind of the citizen comments before you with maybe the value in doing an independent study. And I think we'll definitely take that under advisement and talk about that.
Could also be lack of town support.
It could, but we can have that conversation,
Mhm.
But
you know.
I would also look at the possibility, talk to your leaders down in Hartford, find out if they're
Absolutely.
open to the idea of putting a vocational school up there. It's a beautiful place. It's
Spoke to May Flexer today about our schools in Thompson, so it is on the horizon, yes.
You know what, I just don't wanna see the town drowning, just because we don't wanna take a look.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Well, I definitely appreciate that. Does anyone else have any citizen comments? Sir in the back?
Ray Williams, Water Plain Road. I want to echo Mr. Bissett about, congratulations to you three.
Thank you.
I got one comment about appointments of people on positions on boards in town.
Yes,
It'd be nice to see a little more diversity instead of having the same people on this board, that are intertwined with other boards. Where, there's conflict of interest when people are voting on one board and they're pushing for something from a different board. And it would just, going forward, it'd be nice to see more diversity in the boards on the town.
I agree. And that starts with volunteerism.
Mhm.
And I agree. I think ethics are a important thing within town government. And if anytime you are interested in any boards or any positions or any volunteers.
I did mean to say, I'm not speaking as a commissioner.
Fair. Fair.
Let that part out. I do
Okay.
put my time in.
Okay.
I
Agreed.
think
I'm still
that-
getting to know all the players, so respectfully, yeah.
I
thank
think
you.
in the end, it is a volunteer thing. You know,
100%.
there's very few that are willing to put the time in.
Yes, yeah, and there are a lot of jobs to be had within the town of
Mhm.
Thompson, both volunteer, career, paid, unpaid. Thank you, I appreciate that. We have one other citizen comment in the back, ma'am.
Mallory Clark, Elm Road. I appreciate that you're all fresh, brand new board,
Thank you.
and that you are interested in listening to the public. So maybe things have changed, but typically citizens' comments are limited to 3 minutes
Mhm.
and they're not interactive. So with that said, I'm here not expecting interaction. I'm here to ask 2 questions. One is that at the fire district presentation, the former first selectman stated that this is not an option under some ordinance to go to referendum. And I would like to know what ordinance that is keeping us from letting this be a referendum and allowing more citizens the opportunity to weigh in on the tax district for the fire tax. In addition to that, I think there's some confusion. I know what I heard at the presentation was that they proposed 1.29 mils after you move money out and move money in and increase the budget, that the net effect was about 0.65 to 7 mils increase.
Mhm.
But I don't think that that has been put forward as a fact. And so I would recommend that if that's the case, or whatever number it actually is, that it get out there. So, thank you.
Thank you for those. We'll work on that. Any other citizen comments in the room? Ma'am?
Sarah White, 308 East Thompson Road. And I too would like to comment on the fire district town meeting. It is my understanding, if I remember correctly, having served as second selectman 18, 19 years ago, that the Board of Selectmen have the authority at any time to make a decision to change to a referendum. And given principles of public policy, I would see this as a tremendous opportunity for a new board to show respect to the taxpayers, to open it up as a referendum, which would run from noontime until 8 p.m. It does offer more of an opportunity to participate in an actual vote that some people may prefer a ballot as opposed to being in a town meeting. But generally, things that are of a significant policy magnitude for a referendum, not a town meeting. And I think that would be a great show of respect to citizens. Regarding the school and the idea that Mr. O'Brien had, one other thing, and I hadn't thought of this before, but perhaps the building or buildings could be used as a satellite school for Ellis, which is very popular. I know that they renovated or built new there, and that place has been thriving. And I know that students that graduate from there generally are well employed or go on to run their own businesses. And quite often they run circles around your average student that graduates from high school. And I think there's a lot of options that should be looked at with the school buildings. And I think I see nothing but opportunity there. It's also my understanding that more people have thought of being involved with Putnam as opposed to Woodstock Academy. Also, it wouldn't seem to me that, I mean, obviously an outside objective, totally no ties study would be the only sensible thing to do. Given that Mr. Stiglitz does have a significant conflict of interest, because Melinda wanted him to have the job as director of finance, right, works up there. So this is not objective at all. And which doesn't say anything about Bill in his capacity or his ability, but whether or not you have the character, the skills, or the integrity, you cannot give the appearance of having, it's wrong in a public setting to give the appearance of having any other interest or conflict. So don't confuse the two.
Mhm.
And let's see. Did John Schock make any comments in his resignation letter? Generally, those are read, or they have the option of reading them.
I do have it here.
If you return.
I do have this, I'm more than happy to provide this to you.
If we got it up
Yeah.
there. Is there an update to the search for a librarian?
I do not have any updates at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, citizen comments?
Potentially, I don't know if there's any.
I haven't seen a hand go up.
Okay.
Well,
No, afraid of.
Brian Lafredo does have. We'll take this and then we'll take Mr. Lafredo's. Sir?
We know Brian, one way Baby Road, got a question on, not on the tax district, but on the fire ban. Thing, whatever that.
Fire ordinance for
Because
Openburg.
they did not go over it at that meeting.
They did not, I agree.
And I am totally don't understand why we need it. Because when I talked to you yesterday, it was like, so that if some idiot does something. Well, okay, I do understand there are that there, but I mean, if we just do what if, but take people's rights away that they bought their property, if they want to have a fire on their property, you know, I mean,
Sure, and I'll quickly touch upon that because I think it's important that we do touch upon that in citizen comments. So the proposed fire ordinance is to adopt state statute to give our fire departments the ability to enforce in extreme scenarios. An example of an extreme scenario that causes a public kid safety concern is that the Department of Fire Services or the United States has classes of fire days. Good, I think it's good. It's like a low, medium, high, like very high extreme as far as fire weather goes. So it gives the opportunity our fire department to enforce open burning on an extreme day and tell someone that due to a public safety hazard and concern that they need to put out their fire. So it's not taking anyone's rights away. You're still going to be able to have your campfires and cooking fires in your backyard. What it is going to do is give the option for emergency services and our fire marshal to in fact tell someone that they cannot burn because it could cause a much bigger issue of potentially burning down a neighbor's house. This is a discretionary and more of an educational ordinance. There is an aspect of this of fines, but that's not the intent of that. This is a process of discretion and education where the town can say, hey, this is why we need you to put it out for X, Y, Z. Can we assist you? It is not the town's intention or my stance to be writing every citizen fine, but it is giving the town freedom to exercise a public safety right. And right now, the state of Connecticut is telling us that they have jurisdiction here and we can't do anything about it. So to clarify that, that's the reason for this. Historically, weather's changed in the last 5 to 10 years. We've had historically in the last 5 years, we've gone into reasonable to extreme drought status in our area of the Quiet Corner. And during that time, we've had areas of high, very high and extreme fire weather, usually from June 1st till mid-September is usually when we get those advisories from DEEP and the state. And it just gives us the power to enforce those guidelines and really to make the town safer.
Yeah,
Do you guys have anything?
I have one thing to add. I have an issue with it for one,
Okay,
only because the planning and zoning regulations already point out that we are supposed to use state statute. So what are we adding to the ordinance in order to
so
make
to
that change?
articulate that, I think, planning and zoning can articulate that they have some level of enforcement. But
Well, it's not, it says it follows, you're supposed to follow state
It
statute
does.
of the burning and all of that, and there's fines and everything included in that.
So
So
this
how does
gives-
that change here?
This changes here and it gives the opportunity of action to our town fire marshal and assistant fire marshal. Who
But
are
the-
the authority having jurisdiction on open burning.
But that's what the planning and zoning states.
I,
They have that.
I think it helps to enforce it.
yeah, I think I would refer to that planning and zoning has a lot of uses here within this town, but I
But
think
it's-
the subject matter expert would be the fire marshal. and-
Right, they're not enforcing though.
They're not.
The state states we can designate who. So I don't see why we need an ordinance in order to do that.
I can just take, from my training experience in Massachusetts, it's something that they've had for 40+ years. And it's a very.
But we
normal
already
thing
have
up
it in
there.
town.
So here's a scenario. What happens if we have an open burning case at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah.
That needs to be addressed.
Mm-hmm,
Fire department responds.
yep,
Fire department's there. They can make the enforcement change at
Mhm.
4 a.m. What if we can't get a hold of our zoning enforcement officer who works 20 hours
the
a week?
zoning enforcement officer isn't the one in charge of that, the fire marshal is. It says it in the state statute. We can designate who does it.
I'll have to investigate this more, or us as a team will have to investigate this more.
I agree.
And probably sit with Jamie Snee and go
Mhm.
over that, and I'm open to that. Any other questions about that? Any other citizen comments?
So one question.
Hold on, hold
Excuse me. Have we had an issue in town? Because I haven't seen anything reported or anything. So my question is, are we doing this just have more authority?
No, and I can note a specific
Because
issue that
they
we've had
have
in town.
incidences-
Behind Knights of Columbus, approximately a year ago, that we had a brush fire that lasted a week.
Okay.
That fire departments from all around the region, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island had to come and fight due to poor open burning.
So did the person get fined?
I have no idea the circumstance at the time.
I would, the person would have been fined and even brought into court for it.
So that was an open area, so
Yeah.
I don't think anybody was found on that one.
But again, this gives from what I have heard, this gives the jurisdiction and the enforcement to our fire marshals and fire departments. I do have a citizen comment in the room. Mr. Lafredo, I'm gonna unmute you. Brian Lafredo, can you unmute?
I think you muted me.
Yeah, I think
Now
so.
I'm back.
Go ahead,
Thank
sir.
you, Nick. Just a quick summary and a couple things I've heard. I am in total agreement with Sean Brissett that an audit should be done to put all these things to rest. Our audits before were done, I believe, about 5 years ago. They are out of date. Having a third neutral party is the way to go, so there's no conflict of interest that people are going to say are involved. And hopefully this quote is a realistic audit that we're looking at costs pertaining to special needs and busing, things that might not have affected that rate that was achieved with Killingly and Woodstock. As far as a tech school in town, I would certainly be opposed to that as only a tech school. My daughter wanted to go to college. A lot of our children do want to go to college. My 4 stepchildren went to a tech school. Other kids look for education that's going to bring them to college. If we have a tech school in town or an extension of Ellis Tech, we are taking that opportunity away from them. So we have to be careful about that option. Third, as Mr. Williams said, we do need more people for commissions and boards. I am very civic minded, as you guys know. I'm on several boards. I'm in a a couple elected positions, and I will happily support this town in any role I can, but I should not need to be in all those roles. We can't even fill our trails committee, and most of us are retired and would honestly like other people to step up and be part of that. So yes, if we've been looking for volunteers, and that is a big need in town to get other people involved. And my last point will be agreeing with Valerie about the citizen comments. This is, as far as I can see, not in line with how the meeting is supposed to be. I know this is a new board, but they are supposed to be 3 minutes. You are not doing a question and answer session. This is not a town meeting. Citizens make their comments, as I am now, and then you move on to the next citizen, period. Just for future reference, please. Thank you.
Understood. Point of order, just name and address.
Oh, I missed that. Brian
You had
LaFrida.
name, you didn't have address.
Well, y'all know me. 388 Lowell Davis Road, North Grovernordale.
Thank you, sir. All right, that being said, citizen comments, we have one more on the floor and then we're
Yeah,
gonna
I'll
move
make it
forward.
Suzanne Witkowski, 12 Clarence Drive. Just for reference, we do not have the mechanism in place currently to for the fire marshal, the assistant fire marshal, or the building official to be able to find someone. That is the reason that this ordinance, the burn ordinance, has come forward. We are one of very few cities and towns that do not have one of these ordinances in place. So that is why it gives them the mechanism. There were more than one fire last summer. There was one by Aquatic as well. And there was nothing that could be done other than to put it out. It was by a campfire. So these are giving the firemen, the fire marshal, the authority to be able to enforce. Because planning and zoning is not going to be going out and enforcing it. They haven't done it in 40 years. They're not going to do it now. And so I do support this. The other thing is with your leadership, you have the authority to be able to run your citizen comments any way you want. The FOIA says that you can make them just comments and you don't have to engage, or you can engage if you choose to. So that is totally up to you.
Thank you. At this time, I'm gonna close the floor to citizen comments. Next topic, Board of Selectmen 2026 meeting schedule. I'm gonna read this email as a request from Renee Waldron, our town clerk. The town clerk's office respectfully requests your 2026 schedule meeting by December 1st, 2025. According to the Freedom of Information Act, the town clerk's office must receive your list of scheduled meetings for 2026, 30 days prior to your first meeting of the new year. We must publish the calendar of meetings 30 days prior to the first meeting on the schedule, which 2026 will be January 6th. If you fail to make this 30-day deadline, your first meeting will have to be a special meeting with a set agenda. All agendas must be filed at the clerk's office at least 24 hours prior to the meeting being held. Please note that if you are holding your meetings with electronic equipment, a notice of meeting, NOM, must be preceded to the agenda by 24 hours. We've recommended that you combine the notice of meeting and agenda and post with us on the website 40 hours into advance. Emailing the town clerk with an agenda is a convenience. However, it is still required that a physical agenda be posted outside the town clerk's office at least 24 hours before the meeting. In the Board of Commission's responsibility to ensure that the town clerk's office has received the email and printed it and posted it under the prescribed time frame. Once again, if you're using electrical equipment for a Zoom or a hybrid meeting, it is not a combination notice of meeting with an agenda. You will also have to post a notice of meeting 48 hours in advance. Emailing the town clerk's office after office hours or assuming that we have received your agenda without confirmation can cause a meeting notice to miss the 24-hour deadline. All boards are encouraged to also post agendas on the town meeting website. It is a hybrid or by Zoom, only agendas must be posted on the town website. Special meeting agendas must be on the website regardless, and whatever they are in person or electronic. If a holiday falls on a Monday, the agenda for a Tuesday meeting should be in my office by the preceding Friday by close of business, which is 2 p.m. on Fridays at the latest. Also, a meeting cannot be held on any legal holiday. Reference should be made to section 1-230 of the Freedom of Information Act, which states, if at any time, any regular meeting falls on a holiday, such regular meeting shall be held on the next business day, in quotations. Please avoid using the term new business as a standalone agenda item, as the intent of the agenda is to let the public know with some specifics that will be discussed at the meeting. Vacancy appointments made by the Board of Selectmen and or by ordinance are to be formally documented to the town clerk's office before we will be able to give an oath of office. Each board, commission, committee must reserve, confirm location reservations directly with the selectman's office and hold your meetings at the town hall by calling 860-923-9561 or by emailing selectman's office at thompsonct.org or the library by calling 860-923-9779. Any questions, do not hesitate to contact the clerk's office. So I have a meeting schedule in front of me, 2026 proposed meeting schedule. Do you guys have that in your
Yes.
thing? Meetings to be held at 7 p.m. except noted otherwise. Meetings are as hybrid, meaning both in Zoom and in person. Town hall and via Zoom, online portals notified unless otherwise specified on the agenda. So I have a list of dates here. I'm more than happy to list off the list of dates, or we can just enter this document into
Well, I'd like to have some discussion on
Mhm.
change to once a month meetings instead of twice a month. I think we can be just as efficient
Mhm.
and get the town's business done instead of carrying it on to two meetings.
And I have a point of I guess, education on that. I asked that question today.
Okay.
The suggestion was that it's easier to cancel a meeting than it is to hold a special meeting. So that being said, we have someone on here who takes notes and whatnot and types in our things. For scheduling reasons, it was explained to me that if we kept this schedule, we could always cancel meetings, but it would set a schedule with our person who records all of our meetings and have a known schedule allotted time that we
Okay.
know that person would be there. So that was the only concern that was presented to me. Jeffrey, do you have any,
I'd
Thoughts
rather
or
keep it the way it is. The townspeople are used to that already.
Yeah.
Like you said, if we have to cancel, we cancel, but ideally there's gonna be business every 2 weeks, so I think it's
agree.
beneficial if we do it all.
I agree. And I think given the circumstance of education today, we can always go back and amend, but it's tougher to go forward.
That's fine.
Okay. Do we have a motion to accept the meeting schedule?
Motion
as
to accept
listed? Do we have a second?
as proposed.
I'll
Okay.
second.
Do we have any discussion?
I think we just did.
All those in favor of voting this 2026 meeting schedule in, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right. Okay, next item on the agenda is RFPs for 65 Main Street Design Floors 2 and 3 open bids. Bids closed today at noon, and they were due at the town hall at the selectman's office at noon. We did receive 2 bids. At this time, I'm gonna open these 2 bids, state the name of the business, and then we can record that in applicable. The first one is Christopher Williams Architects LLC. Second one is gonna be from Silver Petrilli and Associates. Thank you. Do I have a motion to accept these two proposals as listed?
I'll make a motion to accept them.
Jeffrey Bolte with the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do you have a discussion? Showing no discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, unanimous. Thank you. All right, next is elected official resignations. We have 3 on the list. I do have these up here for anyone if they do want to see these resignations. They are as follows. Jeffrey Bolte, Planning and Zoning Commission alternate. Leslie LaValle, Zoning Board of Appeals full member, and Daniel Bennett, Planning and Zoning Commission alternate. Do I have a motion to accept these resignation letters?
Motion to accept.
Do I have a second? I'll have a second it.
Mhm.
All those in favor
Aye.
signify by saying aye.
I'll abstain.
Aye. 1 abstentions, 2 ayes. Thank you. Okay, elected official appointments. This next section, I have 2 names listed. At this time, we are going to table the first name, Joseph Perotti Brown, Planning and Zoning Commission alternate, and at this time, appoint James Nedelkowski. I apologize with the pronunciation, Board of Assessment Appeals. The reason for the first one being tabled to our next meeting is that we had some bylaws issue as far as where the resignation came into, and it has yet to be given and logged into planning and zoning officially. Due to that, they have a meeting next week. They're going to then read that, and then we will be able to then appoint. All those in favor, or can I have a motion to elected officials appointment for James
Nate Sokowski.
Nate Zukowski, thank you. Board of Assessment Appeals.
Motion to accept.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Do we need to make a motion to push out?
Yeah, we probably should. I will make a motion to extend and push out to our next meeting. Joseph Perotti Brown, Planning and Zoning Commission alternate, at that time when we do receive an official resignation and acknowledgement from Planning and Zoning. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All right, next, let's see, appointments. We'll move on to appointments. I have a whole list of appointments. I'm going to list these appointments and list off all these, and we're going to appoint all at once with language applicable to the appointments of terms. We will appoint all these individuals at once. There are a bunch of appointment letters here. If you could confirm the 2 of you and then sign those as we go, that would be fantastic.
Can you get people in the waiting room?
Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so appointments as follows. A, Recreational Commission, Joshua T. Clark. Term ends April 15th, 2027. The following terms are going to end November 16th, 2027. Northeast CT Council on Governments, Nicholas Donahue. Northeast CT Transit District, Nicholas Donahue. And D, Thompson Hill Fire Police, Brian Walker. We'll take a motion on those appointments now. I'll make a motion for those appointments.
I'll second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I'm going to abstain due to I'm one of these candidates on this list. Those pass. Second set of appointments. So these are all reappointments in this next. Term ends November 16th, 2027. This is a extremely long list, sections A through F. I apologize for the pronunciation of how it is. I'm just making sure that these people have the opportunity to join. Perfect. Okay, the list is as follows. A, Section A, Chief Financial Officer Treasurer, William Steglitz. B, Poet Laurenti, Steve R. Valuix. Section C, Constables, Norman M. Baker, Eric Lawrence Day, Douglas Scott Farrow, Kevin R. Freeland, Terry G. Johnson, Rhonda Lee Nueves, James A. Nedelkowski. Yes. Dennis Taxon, Christopher Allen Welch, Matthew L. Whipple. Next section, D, Eastern Regional Tourism District, Mystic County, Terrapin Gizik. Section E, Fire Police. Subsection 1, Community Fire Police Commission, Kevin R. Freeland, Peter D. Fosher, Frank Heath, Health, Rocco S. Navarro Jr., Donald Gillon, John J. Rice, Adrian Richard Trudeau. 2, East Thompson Fire Police Commission, Jennifer Mary Raymond, Mary E. Eames. Section 3, Quinnebog Fire Police Commission, Frederick E. Cole. 4, Thompson Hill Fire Police Commission, Hogan Crone, Paul Freege, Dale Fifield, Randall Fifield, Matthew J. Fowler, Matthew P. Fowler. Section 5, West Thompson Fire Police Commission, Alan C. Pratt, Matthew L. Whipple. Section F, Transfer Station Advisory Committee, Ronald Kent Amoling II, Linda L. Harley, Karen L. Durlach, Paul S. Lorenzi, Al Landry, Lynn Landry, and David Ostrowski. The following boards and committees are for reappointment. Again, term ends November 16th of 27. Do I have a motion to accept those reappointments?
I'll make a motion to accept those appointments.
Thank you for that motion.
Second.
Larry will second it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The ayes have it. Okay, next on our agenda, T, request a letter of support for Community Investments Fund CIF grant applications to include lease extension on Teague building.
Looks like we have some members of Teague here.
My name's Scott Moorhead. I'm the president of the board of directors. Colleagues, planning, executive directors here. Now, our associate director. May be aware that not ask me about it. Teague has outgrown its building. We need to apply for a community investment foundation grant. We've been in twice, been rejected, similar what we did with 65 Main Street. Submitting again by December 5th. And they require that we have all new documentation. We got a letter from the selectmen last year, and Amy was in support. So we're requesting to get another letter of support from the selectmen. And also to put some language in, because they questioned that was that the town is supportive of extending the lease to cover the new proposed building. Do you have any questions of any of us? We have to explain it.
Well, I'll make a motion to accept, just for conversation right now.
And
I'll
I'll
second.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jeffrey, you have the second. Any discussion before we move forward?
I'm just very excited that this can go forward, and I wish you all the best in your third attempt. You've always had my support over many, many, many years, and do continue.
Yeah, I'd say in the end, it's a no-brainer. You know,
I
it's,
couldn't
there's,
agree
there's
more.
no reason not to do
We're
this.
excited to be able to get the grant and have it be a town building and a resource for the whole region. So thank you.
And again, if there's any continued help that we can give you, we're here for you.
I agree, you guys are a gift to this community and.
Absolutely.
And the importance of what you do far reaches Thompson. And I just want to say thank you, and any community support, I'm sure you will unanimously get you, so thank you for being you.
Just one question, how are you doing with your plans? As far as
Looks like we have some conceptual.
yes,
We would love to see, step right up. That way the people on the Zoom can
yes,
also see. The camera's gonna be right behind me, so you can show the audience in the Zoom room. Come in a little.
Yeah, I'd say you're gonna probably be over
Yeah,
here.
probably right front and center. That way the people on Zoom can see, because it's an exciting endeavor.
Let's see, I'll start with this, we're a little bit out of order, but this is, it's a two-story building.
Here, come right up. Nice and
Right
close.
up here. Yeah, sorry, I don't know.
It's
You're
okay.
good.
I'm
Yep.
not shy, really, but, it's a two-story building. The plan is to have the first story be, a commercial style kitchen, a loading dock. So we don't have to hand unload trucks in the driveway. Also walk-in cooler and freezer. And then a more robust, community market, where currently we're feeding about, 60 households a week through there, plus or minus. So, a more robust kind of standalone building, and the second floor would be primarily community space, like holiday giving, and then also just more room for our staff because we're bursting at the seams.
Yeah, so this is the first floor that Carl was discussing, which shows the proposed market space, and increased commercial kitchen space, more food hub space. So, these are available in our office too. If anybody ever wanted to stop by and take a look at them, Carl, Scott, and more than happy to chat with the public about these.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for your presentation.
Anybody doesn't know, where we're proposing to put this is on the eastern end of the parking lot across from T building, where that storage container sits right now. So we build that back into the hill.
It's built into the
sort of
hill.
have access at both levels.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is pretty pictures.
Nice. Nice.
Of course, it won't be white, it'll be.
Oh, let's go
easy
there, but
yes.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. And we look forward to growing with your organization and in the town of Thornton. It's a great partnership. And thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you.
All right, we'll move forward on this motion and take a vote. All those in favor on the proposed motion signify by saying aye.
Aye,
Aye. Ayes have it. Thank you guys for coming.
thank you.
All right, next, other business. I do not have a ton of other business. I do have this Teague letter. I do have an application for boards, commissions and committees here. From a Joshua Clark. I do believe that I would like to make a motion to accept this and just put this on the record for,
We already accepted that in the.
I don't know why I
original
have it in my
appointment.
packet.
Yeah,
You guys have it
it-
in your packet? I just
Yes.
found it odd that I have a physical copy.
I
of
do,
this
Yeah,
I do have that.
Yeah, we have it.
Do you feel the need to make?
No, because we already appointed him
Okay,
for
perfect.
rec commission, so. That's what that was for, correct?
Let me confirm.
It looked like it was.
I remember hearing his name.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, recreation. Yeah,
So we already
okay.
accepted that.
Thank you. Well, we have supporting documentation of it. So other business, do you gentlemen have any other business at this meeting at this time?
I do not.
Right now, no.
Perfect. All right, we'll move on to our next agenda item. Citizen comments, and this will be the final citizen comments for this meeting. I'm gonna start this time with the Zoom room. Does anybody on Zoom have any citizen comments? You can signify by pressing the hand raising button in the Zoom room. Showing no Zoom citizen comments. Do I have anything in our audience? Ma'am, please stand up and signify your name and address.
Ellery Clark, Long Road. And as you were talking about your upcoming meeting schedule, I appreciate that you are sticking with the 2 weeks. Thank you for doing that. Twice a month. Something that did occur to me is I know that all of you campaigned on, citizen participation and listening to what the citizens have to say and encouraging participation in meetings and in town government. Something that I have found valuable has been the hybrid meeting formats. And I know that there was a recent decision to abandon hybrid meeting with one of the commissions, and I don't agree with those decisions. I think that the more hybrid that we are able to do, and at least for the ones that are doing it now, the commissions that are hybrid, that they could please continue, because you can see on this Zoom room that you are engaging your public.
Amazing turnout.
Yeah.
And so please continue hybrid meetings in this town.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do have one comment. Valerie, as you can see this evening, we did have more interaction with public. So I do encourage that, and I hope we continue that dialogue.
Yeah.
Because
No,
your
it's good to meet you in
input,
person.
I
yeah,
agree there.
your input is very valuable to us. It helps us steer this community. And the more input we can have, the better we can do our job. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Another point of order, citizen comments, sir,
Yes,
name and address?
Wayne O'Brien, 108 Clearview Road. I want to thank you for that back and forth. I mean, Suzanne and Amy and Ken did it also. The other thing, committee, they don't. They like talking to a wall. And you know what? No offense, we're part owners of this town. Every taxpayer in this town, we're part owner. And that's why voting is so important. If the more people you get to come out to vote, the more you understand what your town wants. Agreed. So I mean, going back to that idea about when we hold it there where we have a meeting in there. 100 or 200 firefighters. And
I wish we had that many members.
Right.
But
Because we probably wouldn't be in the predicament that we are.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
You know, and you end up not hearing what you really need to hear.
Agreed.
A vote gives you an idea,
Agreed.
you know, I mean, to people speak. And I mean, you know what, not everybody's gonna agree with it, but that's okay. People got to voice their opinion, they got to do their vote, and then you go play. Oh, by the way, break bread with the neighbor. Because guess what? We're all in this. We're all in it. We all own a piece of Thompson.
And that's what makes Thompson amazing, the ability to interact and at the end of the day, agree or agree to disagree and still have respect for our common man.
That's what we have to do. So thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you. Any other citizens comments? Sir?
Ray Williams, Port Plain Road. I'm gonna mimic what they're saying. It's nice to have the feedback back and forth instead of just somebody saying stuff to you and you not getting nothing back.
Sure.
You know, and I wasn't gonna say nothing about the fire ordinance, but since it was brought up, I think a 3-foot fire is way too small for somebody to come out and be told that it has to be.
I agree.
It's you know, I don't know how many people in Thompson, I know I've been in Thompson for 54 years. And I know a lot of people in Thompson, and most people have a fire pit that you can put a pallet in. You know, and to put that type of ordinance that you can only have a 3-foot fire and somebody's in your backyard, I think is wrong. I think it's a little bit power hungry, you know, saying that, because everybody I know has a 5-foot fire pot, and to put an ordinance because of 3 bad apples on 9,000 people are wrong. You know, a couple of years ago, you know, people tried to take away our shooting, they tried taking away our farms, you know, they, you know, last year. In the ordinance, and I'm speaking as a citizen, in an ordinance, you know, they want to take your Christmas lights after January 31st. You know, it's just like there's too much grabbing in this town, and it's really got to stop. And it just seems like that's kind of, in my opinion, you know, that fire ordinance with something at 3 foot is way too small. And just another thing with my opinion is, if there's gonna be a board appointed that's taking care of taxpayers' money,
Yes,
that should be a voted on board, not an appointed board. You know, these 4 people who were said, you know, you have it, and then us as taxpayers didn't have nothing to say about it. And I think that should be looked at too. And I think that the ordinance, fire ordinance, I mean, an ordinance for the finance department that said, when the budgets are being cut, when the budgets are voted on, we should have an ordinance saying, because the fire departments need the money.
Mhm.
But there should be an ordinance saying that the fire departments can't be cut. You know, it's gotta come from somewhere else. And I think that would take care of a lot of,
Yeah.
a lot of that, in my opinion.
yeah, to speak to that, it is very discretionary in nature. And I agree, I think it's important that we keep Thompson's rights, our rights, not try to take away people's liberties, so keep that in mind when you vote. As far as, one second, as far as the board and commission, I believe for the first run until their election cycle, it's gonna be a small slate of people, and then.
I can,
Can you
I can-
contest
I can
that?
elaborate
Yeah,
on
that
that.
would be great.
If it gets passed on December 4th, there's a temporary board that's placed.
Mhm.
Before the actual real budget is that date of voting on the financials, the board will be elected as well.
Mhm.
There will be a slate, they have to be elected.
So to answer your question,
Can I just ask a question on that?
yes, sure.
Is it gonna be, they're gonna be elected by the fire people or by the people of the
Elected
town?
by the people,
Okay.
just like you're voting on the tax.
Citizen comment?
Yes, Suzanne Witkowski, 12 Clarence Drive. That 3 foot is a state ordinance. That's a state statute. So it's not up to the town. That's why that 3 foot fire, that's an ordinance statute that we have to live by regardless as to whether this passes or not. And if I understood the meeting the other night, the people that would be voted on this commission would be voted at town meeting.
Mhm.
It would not go on the ballot from what if I understood it correctly.
I believe so also.
Yeah. And that also, it would be taken out of the Board of Finance's hands, and that was so that the fire departments couldn't get cut in the way that they have in the past.
Well, that's why I was saying there should be an ordinance saying that the fire departments can't be cut out of the budget.
That's kind of what this ends up
Kind of what
being.
It does.
Yeah.
It takes it out of the selectmen and out of the Board of Finance's hands.
But then there's
Puts
another
it-
layer of government though, it is what it does.
Well,
It-
to make a point of order to this, that board, from my understanding, cannot be a member of any town government and cannot be a member of the fire department. So it is strictly citizens.
Yep.
That is one of their bylaws
Yep.
in which they proposed. So in fact, it isn't government. It's unique citizens on a volunteer board that control finances, equipment, training, everything that has to do with our 5 departments. So it really gives the freedom to our citizens to do what they see fit, which I think is pretty
Well,
awesome.
I don't wanna keep going back, but
No.
I didn't see anything about the voting on it, and
Yeah.
and trust me, I'm all for the security of our town with our fire departments. It's just, there's certain steps there that
Absolutely.
I thought should be
Absolutely.
looked at a little bit.
And I will definitely try to do my due diligence into putting out some more content about this. I do recommend that people follow Thompson Fire District's social media page. They are putting out some good information there. To the people who do not have social media, there is a website address that you can email for more information. I'd be more than happy to get that to you guys after the meeting. And for the people who aren't email savvy, we also do have handouts. So I'm more than happy to get those paper physical copy handouts to you also. Also, the fire departments all have that information too. So I think that kind of handles things. Another citizen comment, sir, name and address.
My name is Wayne O'Brien, 108 Fabian Road. My question is, okay, there's gonna be no member working on the fire department. It's gonna be on board. But what about the wife? Or
It's a good
the
question.
cousin, or the mother,
Yeah,
or
I
the
think,
father? I mean, they all have interest that's gonna be there, and it could cause a conflict of interest.
yeah,
And if you put 4 people on the board and they have a conflict of interest, guess what? Now the town doesn't have
I
to
agree.
say that
but
you gotta find a way to make it independent.
Sure,
What happens here is like the Board of Ed, they have members on the board that are related, that they won't vote against their significant,
sure, and I think this.
which puts the town in a bad spot.
I agree, but I think to speak of that, I think in a world or a perfect world where we would take out all biased, would be someone, it would be like a jury, like when you're pooling a jury for criminal cases or any type of cases. Everything from where you live to cultural experiences to relatives, all that impacts. So I think to completely take bias out, we'd have to search for a board that had zero connection to Thompson. I think to argue that anybody could have, as a resident, you could have a passion or a bias in Thompson. Do you
Well,
have,
to add into that, the town gets to vote on that budget, so you can fail it. And then they have to go back and redraw it.
Totally understand
Four
that. but
pass.
So-
it has to be
But I understand where you're coming from, you
the
know,
person at that meeting, where you can't vote. You can't vote online, you can't vote by phone, which happened.
Right.
When they put the two budgets together a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
They actually did it during COVID with a few people up at the school, and then people online, and even a person, I was talking to a person, she goes, I voted on phone.
yeah, which
And I
is
was
a
like, how do you
strange
identify?
concept to me.
You know, I didn't understand that. How do you identify a person on a phone? I'm so and so.
Yeah.
You know, it just,
well, I think at that point it was a different time frame on what was going on.
Yeah,
that
and I
was
definitely
our only way to
respect
have
the
a town meeting.
town referendum style vote versus the town meeting. I don't think there's a place for calling in by phone or phoning a friend.
No.
Or that, so I think we're in agreement.
I can address that. Our
Do
former
we have a
government
citizen?
here in town.
Name and
is
address, point of order.
Suzanne Witkowski, Clarence Drive. Our form of government is town meeting. We don't have a charter, we're governed by ordinances. And our actual form of government, when our town was formed, was town meeting. Where everybody would get together and they would come to the town hall or wherever the meeting place was and they would hash things out. And maybe it went till 2 o'clock in the morning, but you got things done. And that's how we are governed, is by town meeting. Now, a town meeting, according to the rules or the ordinance, is not over the phone, not by Zoom, it's in person. And you don't even have to, you have to just be a town resident. That is or how it works.
totally
During
understand.
COVID, we had over 100 people, I believe, on the Zoom call. It was well over 100 people on that Zoom call. Everyone was screened. Even if they were on a phone, they had to identify their name, their place, before they were even allowed to participate. So just to clarify that.
If
We had more
that,
people at that meeting than normally would attend the town meeting.
I love it, I do, I love town meetings. Let's go back to it and do the budget that way. Let's go right
Sometimes
up to
do.
that school on a Saturday afternoon and invite everybody up there for a big old party and have fun.
I can remember 35 years ago, if the town budget was below a certain amount, we voted on a town meeting.
It
And
has
that
to
wasn't,
go.
you know,
We were,
It has to be done that day.
on the
that night.
fifth
No
referendum date,
referendum,
we were
let's
close,
just
we were
vote.
under that number. We could have
we
voted
could
at
have,
town
we could
meeting.
have voted at town meeting, absolutely. Yep,
You know, I mean, I'd love to see the town budget done that way, but a lot of people don't want it that way. And some people on the Board of Finance and some people that were on the board didn't want it because you can only cut. You can't add to the budget. So if the right people are there, somebody's getting hammered. And that was the excuse I was given.
In the
why
town
we
meeting,
No longer do it. At the town meeting, when you're doing the budget, the only thing you can do is cut the budget. You cannot add to the budget. Whatever is proposed is the proposal. Now you go line by line by line. And I was told the reason why was because you can only cut it. But we don't want that.
someone could make a motion to increase the budget. And it'd have to be approved in the town meeting, I believe.
You
No.
can't change the budget at town meeting.
No, once it's there, that's what it is. Then you can cut away at it. You can cut, say, okay, the school wants $1 million. No, we're only gonna give it 200,000.
But we can't add, but we can take it away.
Yes,
I don't think so,
No.
not in town meeting.
that's what I was
What's
told.
your agenda have the number on?
Right,
Okay, point of order, one at a time.
Okay, that's what I was told
No.
by selectmen.
Okay, well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the education that I've received over the past 3 days, because it has been grand. And every day is a new day of learning.
Don't sugarcoat it.
So, yeah, I
Good
very
anyway.
much, I'm excited to serve this community. But I appreciate the constructive criticism and education along the way, and honestly, thank you. So citizen comments, we have 2 more. I'll take the 2 more, and then we're gonna close citizen comments. Miss on the left. Sally.
Sarah White, 308 East Thompson Road. I just want to encourage, again, I don't know what Suzanne's experience has been. What protocol we follow. I know that when I have witnessed other bid openings, when I participated in them, I would encourage every little bit of visibility that you could do. One thing that I have witnessed being done is that the packages would be handed to the other selectmen, and each person would open one, and you open it on top of the table. Then the name would be read out so people could understand it. The bid amount and their address is also very important. I didn't hear the bid amount on the second one. I couldn't catch the name.
No, in point of order.
Couldn't find it.
I will, yeah, and we'll enter that in. The reason for the bid amount, that takes away our ability to negotiate when those bids are made public in the air. So if we decide to go with one or the other, at that point, all of our negotiating is off the table. So it was explained.
Okay, I understand that, and I'm not here to argue or give and take.
Sure, I just figured you deserve an explanation.
But thank you, I do appreciate that, but that is a debatable point, that very much so.
Okay.
Because when bids are given, then they aren't. There's a deadline for them, and they should be able to be read. And and that's for obviously the safety of the bidders and also being visible to the public. When I mentioned the high school, that there are options for the building, I was not saying that it would include the opportunity for Thompson young people to have a high school to go to. Obviously, they would have a choice if they wanted to select a vocational or technical or a typical academic public school. If there were an arrangement made, say with Putnam, obviously before Turtle Isle existed, between 1908, many of the youngsters in Thompson went to Putnam. And some of them went over the line into Massachusetts. So there's always an option since we instituted public schools for that. It certainly isn't shutting that off. Thank you.
Thank you, Sally.
Marie Clark, 105 Long Road. I always think I don't have one more thing to say, and now I have 4. Mr. Williams hit on 3 of my hot buttons with the rights and what was tried to be taken away from us and prior. Those 3 that he mentioned are very important to me. Regarding the volunteerism, the other item that as he was speaking, occurred to me is that there were 2 specific instances where I publicly volunteered to assist, and one of them was with the fire tax district, and I volunteered more than once and was never contacted. And there's another committee that I volunteered to assist and have not received any response to my volunteer offer. And on Ms. White's point about the bids, one of the things from the outside looking in, when this process happens with opening the bids and not reading the amount, and then hearing that there's negotiation that needs to happen, it gives the public the appearance of impropriety. So I'll just tell you that from outside looking in, it doesn't look right, and it's not how it used to be done. So that's a recent change. And then tonight in this meeting, the interchanges have been friendly. You can see how directing comments to the chair is important and not having citizens interact with each other, because if this were a contentious meeting, you'd have a problem. So,
Agreed. I appreciate your feedback. And I'll definitely take the thing about the bid and the process into advisement first thing tomorrow.
thank you.
Okay, on to the next item, agenda, tax refunds. So I have a list of tax refunds tonight. I'm gonna list the names and the amounts, and then we can make a motion to accept if you guys are comfortable with that. I'm more than happy to give you this so you can look at it before we make a motion. Tax refunds are as follows. Ryan Crone, the sum of $74.80. John E. Baslick, $17.10. Leonard W. Galeski, $24.51. ACAR Leasing, $160.90. ACR Leasing, $118.52. ACR Leasing, $496.11. ACR Leasing, $537.74. Casbert's Pliua, $9.37. JP Morgan Chase Bank NA, $156.22. Toyota Lease Trust, $359.10. David H. Gagnon, $14.15. ACAR Leasing for $428.54. Bernard P. Mayo, $5 even. Roger H. Hammond, $15.83. With a total of $2,417.89 of tax refunds for this meeting. If you guys want to quickly go over that, and then I will take a motion as soon as you see that fit.
Motion to accept.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. The ayes have it. All right, we get to the final point is the adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Pulte has a motion, second.
Second.
All those in favor, aye, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Right.
Thank you, unanimous. This meeting is so moved to adjourn.
We need to sign these.
Right.